Hello and namaste to all of you. This is JVN Shahar Singh from Department of Physiotherapy and Diagnosis from Jyoti Vidyapith Women's University. In previous sections, we were talking about the energy metabolism and nutrition. We talked about various terms such as calorific value, respiratory quotient, your RDA, your SDA, and the energy requirement during physical activity. Then we came across the importance of carbohydrates in our diet for the production of energy. So we talked about sucrose and starch in our diet. Then we got to know about the dietary fibers, which are essential in carbohydrate digestion in our diet. And then we went through the nutritional importance of lipids such as triacylglycerols and cholesterols in our diet. Nextly, the most important macromolecule, that is protein. So we went through the proteins and about the nitrogen balance in the diet. Next, we learned about the nutritional values and various formulas that are related to nutritional values, like assessment of nutritional values, biological values, net protein utilization, net dietary protein value, and protein efficiency ratio. And we came across the term limiting amino acids and how different deficiency of different amino acids are overcome by the combination of, by combining different food items in order to maintain the complete diet. So today we'll be talking about protein energy malnutrition. It is the most widespread nutritional problem in developing countries, and predominantly it is affecting children. So the prevalence rate, it varies from 20 to 50% in different areas depending upon socio-economic status and the level of education and awareness. So at one end of the spectrum of malnutrition is marasmus. So marasmus basically means to waste. So marasmus results from continued severe deficiency of both dietary energy and protein. So primary calorie inadequacy and secondary protein deficiency. So at the other end of spectrum is our kwashiorkor. So when isolated deficiency of proteins along with adequate calorie intake is seen, the kwashiorkor means that sickness of the older child, which gets the next child is born. So it is a term from the local language of Ga tribe from Ghana. So the classification was given by WHO, and it is based on body weight as the percentage of standard body weight. So what are the biochemical alterations in protein energy malnutrition? So the hallmark of kwashiorkor is hypoalbuminemia. So, and there is poor wound healing and edemas are seen. So what is hypoalbuminemia basically? So in case of hypoalbuminemia, the albumin values are seen less than 2 grams per dl. So normal values from 2 to 6 and values below 2 grams are known as hypoalbuminemia, which is a biochemical marker in case of your kwashiorkors. And in case of marasmus, this may not be so low, but in kwashiorkor, the albumin is the main value that is looked upon. Now, IgG antibodies, they increase due to association of infections in case of your kwashiorkor. And now, fatty liver is seen in some cases of kwashiorkor and not in your marasmus. So fatty liver, so this is the differentiating feature. So fatty liver is due to decreased lipoprotein synthesis. Now glucose tolerance, which is most often and normal, but hypoglycemia may be seen in your marasmic children. Same hypokalemia, it is a dehydration, and dehydration may be seen when there is diarrhea. Same hypomagnesemia is the usual finding. Now, how we basically treat protein energy malnutrition is that optimal response will be observed with diets providing 150 to 200 kilocalories per kg body weight and 3 to 4 grams of protein per kg body weight. So a mixture of 3 parts of vegetable proteins, that is your Bengal grams and peanuts, and 1 part of your milk protein is found to be very effective. So it is monitored by disappearance of edema and a rise in your albumin ratio in blood, and in case and gain in weight is seen, so that signifies that your treatment is working. So according to WHO, they classified malnutrition. First type is your kwashiorkor. So we say kwashiorkor when a percent of body weight compared to standard body weight is 80 to 60. Edema, and if edema is present and a deficiency in weight or height is also present. So, and we say marasmic and kwashiorkor, both, if we say both are there, when percentage of body weight compared to standard body weight is less than 60, edema is present, and there is more, even more deficiency in weight for height is seen. So it's a double positive in that case. Okay. So nextly, we say marasmus if again the percent of body weight compared to standard weight is less than 60, but no edema is seen, and again double positive deficiency in weight for height is seen. Nextly is your case of dwarfism. So nutritional dwarfism is said when percent of body weight and compared to standard weight is less than 60 with no edema and no deficiency in weight for height. And we say underweight children with no symptoms like kwashiorkor or marasmus when percent of body weight which is compared to standard weight is 80 to 60 with no edema and no deficiency in weight for height. So it is always important that kwashiorkor and marasmus, or the term protein energy malnutrition, they're always asked in your short notes. And also there is difference between marasmus and kwashiorkor, which is asked for your short notes. So it is very important. So what is the difference between marasmus and kwashiorkor? So the age of onset for marasmus is below 1 year. And for kwashiorkor, it is 1 to 5 years. Now, in case of marasmus, there is deficiency of calorie, whereas in case of kwashiorkor, it's deficiency of proteins. In case of marasmus, it is caused by early weaning and repeated infection, whereas kwashiorkor, it is caused by starchy diet after weaning and precipitated by the acute infection. Growth retardation is marked in case of the marasmus, whereas in kwashiorkor, it's present. So in the patient which is from marasmus, he or she will show irritable and fretful attitude, whereas in kwashiorkor, the condition of the patient would be lethargic and apathetic. In case of marasmus, person appears shrunken skin and bones only and dehydrated. Whereas in case of kwashiorkor, he or she might appear plump due to the edema in face and lower limbs. And appetite of in case of marasmus is normal, whereas anorexia is seen in case of kwashiorkor. Skin is mostly dry and atrophic, whereas in kwashiorkor, there is crazy pavement of dermatitis. So due to peeling, cracking, and denudation. Now, There is no characteristic change in hair seen in case of marasmus, and sparse, soft, and thin hair and curls may be lost in case of your kwashiorkor. Now, associated features uh, regarded with marasmus are other nutritional deficiencies, and watery diarrhea, muscles are weak and atrophic, and the associated features in case of kwashiorkor are your angular stomatitis and chelosis, which are common, watery diarrhea, and the muscles, they undergo wasting. In case of marasmus, serum albumin is 2 to 3 grams per dl, and in case of kwashiorkor, it's less than 2 grams per dl. In case of serum cortisol, it is increased in case of marasmus, whereas decreased in case of your kwashiorkor. So that was about the most important disease conditions of protein energy malnutrition. Now, in details about kwashiorkor and malnutrition, we'll discuss in next sections. And what is the sequel of protein calorie malnutrition? So, severe malnutrition in early life can lead to irreversible and physical and functional deficits. So, severe persistent malnutrition may have deleterious effect on intellectual capacity in later life, and there may not be any sequel where moderate and mild forms are corrected in time. So, since the children of today are the force of tomorrow, so a nationwide effort is to be made to eradicate childhood malnutrition. So cachexia is which is seen due to diseases. So patients with advanced cancer, in case of AIDS, HIV infection, tuberculosis, etc., are seen in undernourished. So it is called as cachexia, and it is similar to marasmus, but the loss of body proteins is more than seen in simple malnutrition. So what cachexia, it is explained by different facts. So first of all, there can be chronic infections, and cancer will induce production of inflammatory cytokines. So this will lead to breakdown of proteins by ubiquitin or proteasome pathway, and it will increase energy expenditure. So BMR is considerably increased. Now, cytokines also stimulate uncouplers, so such as thermogenin, and they are leading to increased oxidation and thermogenesis without trapping energy. So, futile cycling of lipids will occur as the hormone-sensitive lipase is activated by proteoglycans secreted by tumors. So, free fatty acids are liberated from adipose tissue, and these are utilized for triacylglycerol synthesis in livers. And this is a process that needs high expenditure of energy. And this fat is again reaching adipose tissue through VLDL and thus completing the futile cycle. Now, most of the tumors preferentially using anaerobic glycolysis, and the end of the result being lactic acid. So this enters the gluconeogenesis pathway in liver, so which is energy consuming reaction. That is, it requires 6 ATPs for each glucose unit. So this was all about the protein energy malnutrition. So in later sections, we'll discuss about the kwashiorkor and marasmus in details. So this is it about this section. So if you have any doubts regarding this and or any past section, you can discuss with me. And until then, take care and goodbye.